So we'll move on to 7.3, consideration and discussion of the Public Defender Oversight Committee membership, and B, consideration of appointment of committee members. And Mr. Buenaventura?
Good afternoon, members of the board. First, I want to thank you all for the really nice, kind, and considerate note that you all signed when I had to leave the country for my father's funeral. I really appreciate it. It really it eased what I was going through and tremendously, and I felt very, very. It was very kind of you, so thank you. I think we are ready to move forward with the Oversight Committee. This is obviously something that you, the board members, and the past members have contemplated. I think you have some very fine candidates before you. I am ready to move forward with meeting quarterly. So I expect that as soon as you get your candidates selected, that July will be the first meeting every quarter. That's the third quarter. And then I expect the next meeting after that will be in October. So at least initially, that's the contemplation, is to do quarterly meetings. Logistics of which we'll still have to work out, where they're going to be, how everyone's going to get notified, and the process that we're going to undertake. But I'm ready to move forward. I'm happy to answer any questions you might have about the process, but I defer it up to you to select the members you think is appropriate. Thank you.
Vice Chair?
Yeah, I have a few concerns in researching this. The one, recommended action regarding removing the CAO and adding the Chief Public Defender would make him a voting member of the Oversight Committee that's providing oversight for the Public Defender's Office. So I think, to me, that's concerning to have the Chief Public Defender as a voting member of oversight for their own committee. So I would propose on that part, I would like to give a solution to move forward partially, in that the board here we can go ahead and appoint our 2 public members. We already have 2 supervisors appointed. We can go ahead and consider an appointment of the attorney position. Then the last member, aside from the CAO, would be the court non-voting member. And then that committee, because these bylaws also should be updated. These were from '05 when we operated under a different model. So that would be a majority of the committee. They could go ahead and meet and then be tasked with updating these bylaws to bring them back to the Board of Supervisors with a recommendation on how we proceed with that other member that was the CAO here. I'm in support of it not having the CAO on there, but I think let's have the committee go forward and make recommendations on that. And then as far as the public members go, this has come up before. There's 2 of them that are full-time county employees that have applied. And in particularly, they work for a department that very likely would be interacting with public defender clients. So this has come up before under, I believe it's Rule 4 that we have, about potentially not appointing people that are already employed by the county full-time. And then lastly, I believe there's conflicts, or there's going to be a conflict with the application from Mr. O'Day in the future, and I was advised that he was most likely going to withdraw because of...
I have a document that says
Okay,
that.
so that is beneficial? Okay. And then other than that, I also looked and talked to Mr. Hotman and looked at his application. Although he has a few clients remaining, he is retiring. He's trying to wrap those up. And, I would support him for that position. Those are my comments at this point.
Thank you. And I think, Helen, you were first, and then Supervisor Sabate. I see
I
yours
think
up
he was
too.
before, but I think
It was a leftover.
Okay.
Oh.
I have some questions. I was just getting them together because I had them on the last time this came up. So let me see. What number was this again?
7.3?
7.3. Okay, because I had to go to the other agenda where I had those comments. So how long was this process open for the people to be on this? When did the process open? When did you start taking applications for the Oversight Committee? When?
Johanna, do you?
How long has it been open for the Oversight Committee?
It's been open, I believe, since at least January is my recollection, or sometime first of the year. It's been quite some time.
I
from
know
what
it's been quite some time, but I think that there was people that filled out applications a while back when it first opened up, and I don't see them on there. That's what I'm getting at. So I was wondering what happened to those applications. I know we didn't, but I think that it had opened up a while back. So I was wondering about those applications.
Do you mind if I sit down?
Yes.
All right.
Well, you're welcome to come up here.
You want to sit up here?
How many are on the committee?
There's,
7.
there's 6 voting members and 1 non-voting member. So 7 total. Two members of the community, 1
I
attorney.
believe we started taking applications in 2023, but we didn't have a public defender at the time, which kind of stalled forming.
So what happened to those applications?
Well, just from my recollection also, and when we have committees that don't follow through or that don't end up getting seated, the reason I know is because I have 3 town halls, this happens all the time. They end up opening it up again, and then folks would be expected to reapply.
Reapply, so
yeah.
they don't save those applications and bring them forward.
From what I understand, a lot of times that's happened, and I've had to have them either refill out or something like that. That's from what I remember.
Yeah, I'm
on
just
mine.
curious.
I don't know if it's
Because
similar
somebody
to
asked
this.
me.
Well, okay, so it's hard for us in the clerk's office to know if someone would still be interested. So when we have applications from so long ago, we encourage people to reapply when we re-put out that the board is open.
Okay.
So then that we can know they're still interested, because we could get applications and put them on, and the person says, oh, I'm not interested anymore, it's been 2 years, I've moved, or et cetera. So,
Okay,
but we can always, like, if someone didn't get their application on, we can always continue it and or they can reapply and we can put it back on the agenda. It's never an issue to not have everybody like put their application in.
okay, and is there any applications, how many were turned in total for it? Was there any that were pulled out that we do not see? That, for whether it be vetting or if they were somehow chosen not to be put on?
Let me check in Laserfish, one moment.
While you're checking, Supervisor Sabatier, did you want to?
I'm wondering, is it possible to, because I get the whole, I don't know that I want to see CAO spending time on this. I'd rather see somebody, or at least your designee, somebody who has a little bit more experience and understanding of the public defenders, maybe the court system. Is that something that county council can be asked to be a part of? Is that legit as far as a request, so that it doesn't have a conflict of interest?
Lloyd?
So my office can certainly take that under review. That seems, for purposes of this board item, that seems to speak to the composition of the committee. So direction can certainly be provided to, from your board to staff to determine the appropriate composition of this committee, of this oversight board moving forward. And that may be done in conjunction with the anticipated amendment or revisions to the bylaws, which more often than not, they would include the composition of the members of this board.
I had
Mr. Chair.
actually thought about that same idea, but it also seems to me that it might be not the best idea to have county council, since they are the attorney for the county and they have to represent, potentially any issues down the road with any of our advisory committees. So that's why I kind of abandoned that thought after looking at it. But I think that, it would be good work for the committee that we can appoint to bring us back ideas on who could replace the CAO.
What about a volunteer that volunteers at county council? Just thinking out loud. I believe we have 2 supervisors already. Chair
Yes.
Crandall, I believe you're one of the
Yes.
supervisors. Who's the second?
Me.
Okay. I don't think we need to change that, so I think
No.
that's already on our thing. I am very interested with a little condition for Mitchell Hopman. As soon as he has depleted his caseload and has proven that he no longer has a caseload, I think he would be a good addition to that. And I also wanted to speak highly on Mary Wilson. She has been very adamant since probably 2023, if not a little later, to be on this. And I think that her expertise, knowledge, and life pursuits are perfect for this type of board. I'll leave the rest open for other suggestions.
Vice Chair?
I did want to suggest Mark Bice was an applicant that I thought would be a good candidate for this. He's got experience. He's a professor at one of the local colleges. He's been on the grand jury. I believe he's currently in law school.
Okay.
So I think he's one that I would like to see on there too.
So there would
And I
be,
have no concern about Mary.
so there's 2 public, so it would be Mark
Correct.
and then, okay. All right. I'm in
Before-
agreement with both of those
am
and
too.
Mitchell. I didn't know.
I would still like to know how many applications there were total and what applications we didn't get to see. That's what I'd like to see.
Okay.
Okay, so the press release was sent March 5th, and we were accepting applications until, we've been accepting applications since March, but the ones that we received from 2003, we didn't include on this agenda because it's been 2 years, and we sent out the press release for people to apply now that it's up and running and such.
Mm-hmm.
But we can continue if there are people interested.
Okay, and how many was this all of them that we received? Okay, so there was none, so they weren't vetted?
We don't vet them. We
Okay, that's what I was checking.
Yeah,
Thank you,
just not the ones from 2023.
thank you.
Okay. With that, I'm going to open it up to the public. If there's anyone that would like to speak on this item or any of the candidates. Hearing none, I'll bring it back to the board for action. I'm in agreement with what, so do you want to make, anyone wants to make a motion?
Yeah, I'll take an attempt at a motion. I'll move that we appoint Mark Bice and Mary Wilson as the 2 committee members from the public. I'll move that we appoint Mitch Hotman on condition of him wrapping up his clients. And then that we don't take action on the, or we don't take action on the replacing the CAO with the chief public defender at this time until such time that the committee brings back recommendations on bylaw updates.
Lloyd?
So as far as thank you, Mr. Chair, the motion appointment language that can stay in place as far as the appointments of Mark Bice, Mary Wilson as for
Public,
the 2 members of the general public, and Mitchell Hopman as the one of the attorney appointments under the condition to wrap up
Right.
the
Right.
caseload that may be in conflict with the functions of of the membership appointment under this by the Oversight Board. So that would be the motion for appointments, and then I could follow that out after your board takes action to the appointment.
that's so moved for the.
Second.
So I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries 500.
Thank
Go
you.
ahead.
As far as the second form or recommendation, your board could direct staff to, along with this oversight board, in coordination with the oversight board, to revise the bylaws, to present to the board revisions to the bylaws that may include changes to the compositions or in particular, the one county administrative officer position membership for this oversight board.
So I'm good with providing direction to staff on that.
All right. So just direction right there.
That can be by consensus.
Consensus?
Consensus, I think we have it.
Sounds like we have.
ideas.
All right. With that should, oh, go ahead, Supervisor.
Just one question. Are these public meetings?
So that's, you're asking me?
I'm asking whoever can answer. Are these public meetings, or is there confidential statements that will be made during these public defender oversight meetings?
That's the concern that I had, yes. The confidentiality of it, but also, oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Some of the things that cross my mind are things like, is this a sort of closed meeting, not open to the public? Is it a televised meeting? Is it a meeting that's covered by the Brown Act? And so these are, and is it a meeting that I should facilitate, or am I just a participant, meaning I'm a presenter? So all those things, I think the committee is going to have to hash out, and that's why I think it's time that we all get together, or at least the committee gets together and decides how we're going to proceed.
Good answer.
Under the current bylaws, I believe they are public meetings. It says they shall be held in compliance with the Brown Act
Yeah.
in the bylaws, so.
I would suspect it's general information and numbers, not specific
Right.
court cases and
Right.
things like that.
Correct.
Okay. All right. We're good, I think, or, all right. Thank you.
If
Go ahead.
I could just, and again, this is just a
Yes.
suggestion, and I defer to you, obviously, as the board members, but perhaps one consideration you could have is you could include me still, but as a non-voting member. And so I'm just throwing that out there, something to consider, and, because I would very much like to be part of the discussion. And if I'm just left to be a presenter, maybe my input is not going to be, I'm not going to be as present if I wasn't a member. That's just a suggestion.
Thank you.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah,
Thank
and
you, everybody.
I think certainly that's going to be part of the discussions
Yeah.
on the bylaw updates as
Right.
well.
All right. Thank you, sir.
All right.
Okay,